Youthfulness at any age. Why are so many women running to estheticians? And are men doing the same thing? According to a very recent report, Americans spend over $13 billion a year on cosmetic surgery, and that figure is climbing. Why are we so focused on improving our appearance, and is it safe? Today, treatment is being used not only to improve appearance, but also to enhance sexual performance. Dr. Sophia Lubin, a certified aesthetic practitioner and doctor of obstetrics, will be joining me in less than a minute to discuss this. Also in this program, I'll be chatting with Leroy Morrison, owner of Alexis Van Lines and the co-author of a new bill which regulates the commuter vans, also known as dollar vans. The fountain of youth. Thousands are searching for it. Dr. Lubin, why are so many people running to you?
Well, I think that so many people are running to me because I offer them an opportunity to feel more confident about themselves in a way that really helps them to change the way that they feel and look, whether it's through things that are anti-aging or through body contouring or just energy boosting.
People refer to a lot of what you do as looking after wellness issues. And very often when we hear about wellness, we don't think about doctors. You're a medical doctor.
I am a medical doctor. However, I've been able to marry the concept of wellness with some of the medical aspects of my career. When I think wellness, partly what I think about is how can I help my clients feel healthier, better about themselves, a lot more confident, and healthier.
What are some of the services that people are most interested in today?
At our office, people are very interested in today things like IV nutrient therapy. They're interested in fat freezing. They're interested in anti-aging products. They're interested in things such as the vampire facial and vampire facelift. Things that will help them to not only feel better about themselves, give them an energy boost, but also help them to be younger.
Many Americans are classified as being obese or overweight. And you mentioned just now this fat-free.
Fat freezing.
Fat freezing.
Yes.
How does fat freezing help that?
Well, fat freezing is an opportunity for you to kill fat cells by cooling it down to a temperature that allows the fat cell to die. And then through the body's natural processes, you're allowed to eliminate that fat in a very non-invasive manner. And so that's why many clients are coming to me, because they want the opportunity to lose fat and to do what we call body contouring, meaning getting rid of fat that is in hard to reach places, no matter how hard they may exercise or diet, that they're just not able to really get rid of. And by going through this process, they're able to do what we consider as body contouring and lose fat in those unwanted places.
What exactly is body contouring?
Well, it's an opportunity for us to see more results in the workouts that we're doing. It's an opportunity to trim our bodies in areas that may be difficult through our regular conventional means.
You offer services to men as well?
Absolutely.
What kind of services?
Well, some of the services that we offer both to men and women include vampire procedures, or what we call PRP rejuvenation. And what that is platelet-rich plasma, an aspect of the blood that is really like the superpower of the blood. And when we draw the blood, we're able to spin it down and collect this special part of the blood that we can target in certain areas. And for men, we can use it in sexual wellness. For men, we use it in hair rejuvenation. For men, we use it in facial aesthetics. So in the same ways in which we would use it for women, we can use it for men.
So I'm losing a lot of my hair. Would this platelet treatment help me regrow the hair that I'm losing?
Yes, as a matter of fact,
Really?
it can, yes. The whole concept behind platelet-rich plasma is the fact that it can help with rejuvenating the hair follicles at the root. It helps to regenerate small blood vessels. It brings growth factors to the area. And so by introducing those platelets and through what we call microinjury, we're able to help those follicles to kind of get a revitalization.
What is the difference between looking good and being healthy from your perspective? And I'm sure people may ask you that question. I want to look good, but what is the relationship to it?
There's a definite relationship between the two. You really shouldn't consider just having one without the other. As I mentioned, I really like to bring into the arena the concept of wellness and staying healthy. So with all of my clients, I always mention concepts behind diet, exercise, what kind of nutrition they have, and how can they change certain aspects in very small ways that will help them to be healthier. Things like quitting smoking. So we don't just leave that part out just because we're looking forward to looking good. We have to take it into a combination in order to really look and feel our best.
Are more people comfortable seeing you because you are a medical doctor?
I think it certainly brings a certain sense of trust. I think it helps people when they have other questions outside of whatever perhaps treatment or service that they're coming for. Having the opportunity to ask questions related to some aspects of their medical health and how their current service may be related or may be contraindicated, I think it definitely helps them to feel more comfortable with receiving certain services as well as getting their questions answered.
Why did you decide that you no longer wanted to concentrate, or that you did not want to concentrate solely on being a medical doctor, and that you wanted to branch into this, what people call this new area of living, this new area of health? There are people who do not go to medical doctors at all. You listen to programs on radio and on television, and they tell you about these alternative treatments. Why did you make that decision to marry the two?
I definitely call it marrying the two, because I think that there's an aspect of all different types of medicine, whether it's in wellness, holistic, osteopathic, as I am an osteopathic physician. You're able to kind of get a better sense from all these different avenues on what can potentially be the best for your clients and for our patients. What are they going to better listen to? What's going to better react with them? And I don't think that all of the answers are only in traditional medicine. So if we're able to kind of think outside of the box and bring all of them together, I think we have a better opportunity to service our clients.
What are some of the health issues that you see in Brooklyn that concerns you? And I don't necessarily mean that you see in your patients, but that you see in Brooklyn around you that you're concerned about.
Well, I think obesity is certainly one of them. I think that if we can curtail some of the things that are causing us to be obese, whether it's an emotional problem, psychological problem, physical problem, not able to assess and gain access to the foods that are really good for us. And I think that those are probably some of the problems that I see here in Brooklyn, just if I were to think about it really on a very grand scale or globally.
Sure.
If I were able to take it just to a smaller scale, I think that in general, Brooklynites really do want to feel good and look good. And so being able to offer them opportunities in both those places, I think is great.
You talked earlier about food. Are there specific foods that you tell your patients that they should eat or that they should avoid?
Well, I certainly help patients to realize that there's a lot that is already in their diet that they can make more robust as part of their nutritional plan. And so if you already like certain vegetables, perhaps slowly introducing those that are a little bit more nutrient rich, or those that can help you to have less hunger craves, may be more beneficial in terms of working on a real diet plan. also the concept of having small mini meals throughout the day as opposed to only one or two very large meals is one way to just help us boost our metabolism. Making sure that we're actually getting the nutrients from the foods that we eat, as well as, like I said, one of the things that we do offer is IV nutrient therapy. And a great thing about that is that we offer you the nutrients that you need directly to your bloodstream, and so nothing's really getting lost through our GI tract. And so that's one of the other options that we have.
Speaking to one of my producers today, and she said, I must talk to you about this fountain of youth. Is this a reason for many people coming to you that I know they say when man was first on the earth, lived for hundreds and hundreds of years, and I guess look pretty young to be able to live for 500, 600, 700 years. Do people hope to regain that youthful look?
Yes, I think many people want to come in and see results in the sense of feeling and looking more youthful. Now, that's a combination. It's a combination of their lifestyle as well as some of the services and products that we offer. It's not just one thing. It's nothing is done in a vacuum. And what I really like is the fact that we're able to offer some of these things in what we consider as a non-invasive way. So you're not going under the knife, despite the fact that I am a surgeon. I'm not a plastic surgeon. And it's not that I'm not a proponent of those who'd like to do things such as a facelift as a surgical procedure. However, I do think that using some of these non-invasive techniques can get you very reliable results without having to undergo the same complications.
Talking about facial, I think one of your treatments or one of your procedures I saw is this vampire. You're smiling, and you don't have a vampire look right now. But
No.
There's this vampire facelift.
Yes. The vampire facelift is a technique that was created by a doctor by the name of Dr. Charles Reynolds. And the vampire facelift is the way in which we use, as I said before, what we call platelet-rich plasma, or PRP. And it's the combination of that PRP with another known product called hyaluronic acid. And hyaluronic acid is a substance that's used in many common fillers. And fillers are used in areas of the face such as what we call nasolabial folds. It helps with what we call volume loss, so loss in the cheek. And in these areas, if you're able to kind of rebuild them, add back the structure, you're able to add a more youthful look.
And we talked about how your treatments help sexual performance.
Yes.
What is this O shot that I've been hearing about?
Well,
your face is giving you away.
I'm so excited about the O shot. So, you know, as a gynecologist, I really wanted to be able to offer something to women because there's so little that's out there for us in terms of in the arena of sexual dysfunction. Unlike men who have the opportunity to take a pill, maybe Viagra, Cialis, and all the others that are on the market, women, unfortunately, we don't have that same array of well-developed and well-accepted methods to help us with any type of sexual dysfunction, although over 40% of us may suffer from it. And I was very excited when I had the opportunity to learn about the O shot, which uses, again, platelet-rich plasma, except that it's using it in the genitals in order to help rejuvenate both the clitoris, the sexual glands in the vagina, the sexual tissue of the vagina, in order to make sex more pleasurable.
You would never think, I guess, I'm thinking as a man, that women really have sexual dysfunction problems.
Sexual dysfunction problems are definitely present. The problem is that we just don't really talk about them. And I think it's a lot more accepted for us to consider men as being performers and having sexual pleasure in society in general. And I think the concept of women actually being pleasured in the sexual areas is not the same. It's not really equal.
So what do you offer to men outside of the Cialis and the Viagra?
We offer the P shot.
The P shot.
Like the O shot.
Okay.
Like the O shot, we offer the P shot. And again, with platelet-rich plasma, which I really think is a revolutionary product, the concept of using your own body to help regenerate and rejuvenate yourself. And by doing that, you're able to re-inject the platelets into the shaft of the penis, as well as into the glands, in order to help it to have better girth as well as stronger erections.
How do people reach you?
They can reach me at 646-455-1464, and that's at Young Forever Aesthetics in Brooklyn. We're right on Eastern Parkway.
Thank you, Dr. Lubin. Commuter vans, better known as dollar vans, provide critical transportation services for thousands in Brooklyn and throughout New York City. They've been doing this for decades. However, they've earned the unflattering reputation of being aggressive and of operating illegally. The illegal part is now changing as a result of recent legislation passed in City Council. Joining me to discuss this is Leroy Morrison, owner of Alexis Van Lines, one of the first and largest commuter van lines in Brooklyn. Mr. Morrison, welcome to Brooklyn 45.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lubin.
This has been a long battle for you to get this legislation passed. Tell us about this battle.
Well, it's been a long battle where we were in the shadow, and now we're in the light, sir. And we take commuter vans from a long way. Whenever the city is in crisis, they call on commuter van. After the crisis, they forget about us. And we want to serve the people of Brooklyn and New York City with a better transportation system. So what we did in order to take us out of the shadow, we have to introduce a special legislation that will make us more licensed than we are now, and people can recognize us more than how they was treating us all these years. And that legislation is very good. We see light at the end of the tunnel now that we were looking forward to see. And that intro, we have to say, by the way, thanks to Councilmember Jamani Williams and his staff that bringing this legislation here. We fight for this legislation. I explained to him the needs. I explained to him the problem that we're going through. And he took it to the city council, and it was a lot of ups, a lot of downs. And we stayed with it, and we had it passed in the city council. We have over 45 votes that's in favor of the bill. And we have one person that was there that didn't voted, that hold back their voted, and we have 4 people that was absent on that day. But the transportation chair listened to us, and he understand our needs, and they recognize that this is the part of New York City transportation, and we have the bill passed in the city council.
You were one of the co-authors or the co-author of this bill?
Well, I'm the one that go out and get the bill done and explain to Councilmember Jamani Williams, and on behalf of Commuter Van Association of New York also, I am the vice president. I go out and I fight for all commuter vans in New York City, and that's what I did, sir.
Now, the dollar vans are necessary for people who use them. Talk about the importance of these dollar vans for the thousands who don't use them.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about for the people that use it and the people that don't use it, but at the end of the day, we are part of the transportation. Like you have MTA, you have the yellow cab, you have the green cars. Commuter van is very needed, especially in the outer boroughs that's underserved, where a lot of people depend on it, their livelihood. This is what they need to go back and forth from home to work to home.
Where are these outer boroughs?
Outer boroughs we're talking about, we're in Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and other places, the Rockaways, Manhattan, certain places in Manhattan also. And, it served well in these community, but people doesn't recognize us. But when the city is in crisis, that's when they call us to take them out of the crisis.
Why
sir.
don't they recognize you?
Well, because the city all these years we are minorities, and because we are minorities and we're from the Caribbean country, no one recognizes us. But as soon as they need us, that's when they recognize us. So this is something that they're giving back to us now that they were supposed to. This is overdue that we're supposed to get all these years. We didn't get that, so now this is the time for them. We said, hey, you got to recognize who we are now.
So dollar van operators are mainly from the Caribbean, that's what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Most of these vans that you see that running up and down, these are all Caribbean people that drive these vans, and the people that take the vans is, minorities, Caribbean people. Even also, everyone start using the vans now that didn't use in the vans all these years, that they see that it's a very important transportation. And not only that, we're one of the best share rides in New York City here, the commuter vans. Otherwise, back then they call it dollar vans because they look down at us by saying dollar vans, but the name for it is commuter vans. And everyone recognized commuter vans. Not only that, too, when certain time when MTA stop run at night, the vans are there, and they still provide a door-to-door service also to especially some of the females that go home late at night. You can ask the vans to drop you off along the way,
And
they'll
they're
do that.
safe.
And they're safe also too, sir. We can't speak for the cowboys, but we can speak for the guys that want to make a living, and they come out here with the American dreams. Everyone come to this country with the American dreams, and that's what we came here with, is the American dreams. The cure for poverty is work, sir, and that's what we're doing, sir. And we're doing a good job, sir.
A criticism of the operators
Yes, sir.
have been that many of them are operating illegally, that they're unlicensed.
Well, you see, one of the problems, sir, you do have a lot of unlicensed vans out there, but at the same time, this is what we're trying to tell them, that you don't have to do that. You can go the right way so that we can have a safer transportation, because the commuter van, the licensed commuter van, we're licensed by New York State Department of Transportation, we're licensed by New York City Department of Transportation, and we're licensed by also the Taxi and Limousine Commission also too. So these are the licensed vans, and we're properly insured, and the insurance is very high right now that we're facing now also too, sir.
So how do people know the difference between the licensed vans and the unlicensed vans?
Okay, the licensed vans right now, and by the way, sir, we also have NYC commuter on the vans now also too, because we fight to get the NYC commuter on the van so the people could recognize it. Just like if you see the yellow cab driving around with NYCT, and you look at the green car, NYCT. If you look at the vans now, the licensed commuter van, it's a NYC commuter. When we started that, it was a no-brainer, and we started as a pilot program. When I start with it, my first one I put on a van was a pilot program, and now it become rules by the Taxi and Limousine Commission too. So I bring NYC commuter to the van so that people can recognize that we're part of New York City. So we're partnering with New York City now, the Taxi and Limousine Commission. That's how people can recognize it. They look at the doors, they see NYC commuter, and on the right side of the window, you'll see the bottom sticker, the diamond, is from New York State Department of Transportation, and in the middle you'll see the registration, and on top of that you'll see the round diamond saying New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission, and that's what you look for on the right side of the windshield, sir.
So your van is your van lines.
Yes, sir.
The Alexis van line.
Yes, sir.
Now, are there others in Brooklyn?
Well, you have several van companies that's in Brooklyn right now. You also, my colleagues, you have also Royal Rose. You have Royal Rose Transportation. You have Blackstreet Van Lines. You have also Ace VIP. And you have also Pebbles Transportation. Pebbles Transportation was one of the first licensed commuter van in New York City. Pebbles Transportation was coming from New York State Department of Transportation. Before New York City took it over, it used to be New York State Department of Transportation. The state used to have it first, and then they gave it over to the city in 1994. So Pebbles was one of the original transportation in Brooklyn, and Pebbles Transportation is still existed. And Pebbles Transportation, I'm the original founder for Pebbles Transportation. I'm still the CEO for Pebbles Transportation. I still own Pebbles Transportation. We still do registration in Pebbles Transportation also, because at one point when we started first, we had a hard time with MTA. We used to have to shut down the Brooklyn Bridge. We used to have to block the traffic. They used to lock me up about 3-4 times a day just to get me off the street, and we have to fight and fight and fight and fight and keep fighting until I end up with Pebbles Transportation. So I took MTA to court and with the state and showed them there's needs for commuter vans in New York City, and I introduced commuter vans in Brooklyn to New York State Department of Transportation, and then I end up with Pebbles Transportation, and then at one point,
Alexis.
yes sir, I still own the both of them. So with Pebbles Transportation, it was a crack that I fell through the system, because it was a crack, and I fell through the crack. So what I had to do, and when the city took it over in 1994, I had to do a special legislation in Albany, in assembly. In the assembly was 6914A, and in the Senate was 4502A, and the governor signed it, become law, chapter 525. That bill will open up the TLC so that I can get the grandfather to service in 1997. That was Pebbles Transportation. So we still own Pebbles Transportation and Alexis Van Lines. We have Alexis Van Line now that we're running the same commuter vans. And then we form an organization by the name of Commuter Van Association of New York. So it represents every commuter van in New York City, sir.
So you believe that the hardships that used to be faced by the commuter van operators,
Yes,
that will now end?
Well, sir, it's end, and I want to say thanks to the people that support the service. Thanks for the council member, Jamani Williams, that he understands the needs and he understands what people are facing. And I want to say thanks to the speaker also for the speaker of the House and the city council that she recognized it. And I want to say thanks to the transportation chair, Mr. Rodriguez, to understand the needs also too, as he was originally, the transportation chair was a cab driver also, so he understands our need. And I want to say also thanks to the mayor also for also support the bill.
And thanks
also
to you, because you co-authored this bill and worked with
Yes, sir. Yes,
elected
sir.
officials.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
And I wish you success.
Yes, sir.
I wish
Thanks.
your fellow operators success.
Yes, sir.
And you are working very hard on behalf
Yes,
of people who need the dollar vans or the commuter lines, as
Yes,
you
sir.
say. Thank you for being on Brooklyn 45.
And I want to say thanks to have us on your program, and I really want to say thanks to all the people of Brooklyn that
yes,
support
of course,
commuter vans,
and they will continue to support
and
you.
I want them to see that it's changing, and if you look out there now, we changed from vans and we're getting buses now. That's luxury buses now, so they can sit down in luxury. Because most of the buses that we're coming with Alexis Van Lines now and other transportation, it's like you can sit in there, and we have TVs all over it, and we have videos all over it, and we have the seats can recline. It's like you're sitting in JetBlue.
Again, thank you for being on Brooklyn 45. This program and several others can be seen on YouTube. We'd love to hear from you. Please post your comments on our Facebook page, Brooklyn 45 TV, or email us at info@brooklyn45.com. That's info@brooklyn45.com. You can see this program and others on our YouTube page. On behalf of our entire Brooklyn 45 team, I'm Sam Tate.